Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be testing out and reviewing a new foundation from Catrice. This is their True Skin Hydrating Foundation, which includes hyaluronic acid and watermelon seed oil. Now this comes in 20 different shades and it retails for $11 US. I grabbed two of the shades. Of course, I'm doing a lot of my shopping online, and this is what they look like. This is warm vanilla. This is neutral sand. As you can see, maybe this one might be a match, or might be closer to a match than this one for sure. Just buying things online, it's super hard to get it right, you know? Like, look at this. Like, I thought that neutral sand, which is this one right here, the lighter of the two, I thought that it looked pretty good online, but look at that. There's absolutely no way that that is going to suit my complexion whatsoever. So that's neutral sand. This one is warm vanilla, which I think may be a little bit of a better match. Hopefully it dries down a little bit deeper than what it looks like when you first pump it out, because look at that. Ooh. It's very lightly scented. Nothing overwhelming whatsoever, which I appreciate. I'm gonna let that just sit there and set, and yeah, you see it already is kind of deepening a little bit. We'll see. Anyway, while I let this dry, let's go over some more details, shall we? Now this is meant to be a long-wearing, lightweight, medium to buildable coverage foundation. It is also cruelty-free, vegan, paraben-free, gluten-free, and alcohol-free. Like I said, it comes in 20 different shades, and it is supposed to deliver a natural skin-like finish. Now you get a little bit more than a solid fluid ounce. This one is 1.01, so just slightly more, and it has a shelf life of 12 months. So you have an entire year to use it all up if you love it. This is what the shade looks like now. It dried down a little bit deeper, so that's good. Just slightly deeper. When it comes to foundations, I always like them to be a little bit too light rather than a little bit too deep, because I can hide it by just adding a little bit of bronzer, like a little extra bronzer today. As far as my skin, I am oily here along the T-zone, and I am pretty normal everywhere else. I'm not gonna apply any primer underneath this foundation. I wanna see how it wears. I wanna see how it looks without the assistance of any primer. This is gonna give us a skin-like finish, so I really am looking forward to that. I love foundations that just feel like skin and that just look so natural. That's like my favorite, those are my favorite types of foundations, which this one, based on what we've read, seems to be, right? That's what this is going to hopefully provide. So let's shake this up and let's get started. Oh, I'm gonna apply color corrector first. All right, color corrector is on. Let's apply some of this foundation. I'm just going to apply it to this right side, and then I'm gonna zoom you guys in so that you can get a better look and compare both sides, both with foundation and without. So I'm just gonna take one pump of this. I don't really foresee myself using more than this, to be quite honest. It's a little runny. I'm gonna be applying it with my flat kabuki. This one is the F80 from Sigma Beauty. Just grabbing a little bit of this. All right, so let me zoom you guys in, and that way you can look at it up close, look at what this looks like. It really does look very much like skin. It did kind of even everything out, but without covering everything or covering too much. Truly is medium coverage. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Let me zoom you guys in, and that way you can see the before and the after. All right, so this is my skin before any foundation, and this is my skin after one light layer of this foundation. All right, so let's keep going. I have not even used half of that pump. I am going very light with this, and it's giving us medium coverage. Really nice coverage too. All right, so there's the foundation. It looks nice and radiant. This is medium coverage. I only went for medium coverage today, which was about half the pump. If I wanted full coverage, I think the full pump would be more than enough for that. But I really prefer medium coverage foundations, and that's how I'm going to wear this one today. So let me jump off camera really quickly in order to finish the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back. All right, so I'm back, ready to continue on with my day. Foundation still looks good. So far, so good. And although I didn't match myself very well, I was able to save it with a little bit of extra bronzer. Now, I did set the foundation a little bit here along the forehead and, of course, here along the cheek area, just so that I was able to blend out my powder bronzer and my powder blush. Because if I hadn't set it, it just doesn't blend out as nicely. So that's the reason for setting it here. And of course I set it here because I do tend to get a little bit oily. We'll see how it wears. It is currently 11:21 in the morning. I am gonna be doing an outdoor midday check-in so that you guys can get a look at this foundation on my skin in natural lighting. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a few hours for my midday check-in. All right, so I'm back home. I'm actually in my makeup room. I was gonna do the check-in from outside in my car, but the sun was beating on my face and it was just directly in my face and you couldn't really see anything. So I decided to wait until I got home. This is what the foundation looks like as of right now. I'd say a little dewy along the forehead for sure, but that I was kind of expecting. However, I don't know, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good still. I think it still looks pretty good. Is it accentuating my smile lines? Let's see. A little bit, right? Yeah, just a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Overall, I think it still looks pretty good. It still feels lightweight. And yeah, I'm good. I'm good to go for another maybe like 3 hours or so. It is currently 4:16. So yeah, I think I might push this until like 7:30 to give it an 8-hour day. So I will see you guys back here in another 3 hours for my final check-in. All right, so I'm back for my final check-in. It is currently 7:08, which means that I've had this foundation on for about 8 hours, I wanna say, like almost a solid 8. Now, before I get into what I think about this foundation after wearing it for an entire day, I'm going to zoom you guys in one last time so that you can get an up-close look around my face with the foundation after 8 hours of wear. All right, so we're gonna start off over here on the left side. We're still looking good. Still looking great, actually. Foundation, I don't believe has really worn off. Remember, we started off with medium coverage. So still looks pretty much the exact same way it did earlier. And the same goes for this right side. Now, as far as my forehead, as you can see, it is quite shiny. It is quite shiny, even though we set it. Of course, this was not meant to keep us matte, so I'm not gonna hold this against the foundation too much, but it is worth mentioning that I am very, very dewy right now, extremely dewy around the forehead. And I did notice the foundation did settle into like my little 11 right here. So like this fine line right here and this fine line right here. It settled in there just very little, but settled nonetheless. And here is a look around the mouth. Like I said earlier, I think the foundation is accentuating my fine lines just a little bit. And I looked really, really closely and it looks like the foundation settled there a little bit as well. All right, so there you have it. That is my face up close with the foundation after wearing it for an entire day. I can say that I actually like it. I like this foundation for it being a hydrating formula. It doesn't feel too oily. It doesn't feel too slick. It feels lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy or cakey, which is why I tend to gravitate more toward like soft matte foundations or matte foundations just in general, because I feel like those tend to feel a little bit lighter on the skin, at least for me, especially since I can get a little oily here along the T-zone. This one, however, even though it's hydrating, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it being excessively hydrating and just like too much. It's really nice, medium coverage. You can build it up, so you have that option to build it up in certain areas. Although, will I build it up? Probably not, especially seeing what it did here along my little frown lines here and around the mouth. I feel like if I had added more foundation to make this full coverage, then perhaps it would have definitely settled heavy around my smile lines and of course here as well. However, if you're looking for a nice, lightweight, comfortable foundation from the drugstore, Catrice also sells the HD Liquid Coverage Foundation, which is the best drugstore foundation, one of the best drugstore foundations I've ever tried. It truly is very mattifying but comfortable, lightweight. You don't need a whole lot of this foundation in order to get really nice full coverage. So you have options with Catrice now. If you're looking for something a little bit more medium coverage, natural, hydrating, you've got this one. If you're looking for something more mattifying that's really lightweight but full coverage, this one for sure. You've got options. I don't mind this one at all. I actually feel like even though I thought the shade was a little bit too light at the beginning of the day, it worked out. Overall, I like it. It's a nice foundation. It's a nice hydrating drugstore option that's cruelty-free and vegan. In case those are some of the things that you're really looking for. I do hope that they expand on their shade range, but other than that, it's nice. I like it. So that completes today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed today's product review and that you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. And also don't forget to follow me over on Instagram, where I absolutely love to interact with you guys. As always, take care and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah. Bye.